The reason that I'm saying left wing is due to the fact that it's probably the only mainstream ideology that exists right now, which believes that hard work never equals profit. And they think that the only way people can get rich is usually through sheer luck. Like they're born in the right family, so they got lucky, they have privilege. But if someone actually works hard, they can't climb the social ladder. And you'll see on Twitter and on other social medias, like constantly leftists are trying to drag people down. I remember AOC also had certain speeches where she's saying that no, you can't pull yourself up by the bootstrap. And the question is like, why? Why are they setting this mindset? And the reason is that they don't want people to even try. And the answer is like, you can never be successful if you don't even attempt. Like, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. So whenever they see a success story, they get upset. Because for them, in order for people to be successful, what they have to do is to vote left-wing politicians in perpetuity and support left-wing activists. Like, they don't actually want people to enrich themselves. They don't want people to be wealthy, because then they can actually think for themselves. They have a higher degree of individuality, and they really don't like that. So it's interesting when you see these types of wholesome messages and wholesome success stories, and you get to see how people who are influenced by left-wing ideology react to them. So in this case, we got a millionaire who did what appears to be like a social experiment, although I wouldn't really call it a scientific experiment. It's just like what happened to him. But it is still very motivating. And this type of posts were very popular back in 2016 and before that. And they're still popular on TikTok in China today, right? So like nations that actually want people to be successful are trying to promote these types of wholesome messages. And in this situation, this guy was a millionaire, right? And he set up to put $1 million in 12 months, starting from zero. So he emptied his bank account and decided to go completely homeless and take on this challenge in order to try and build himself back up. And through a series of videos, we get to see his life journey. He slept on the streets, on the benches, battling hunger and doubt. And honestly, I can't imagine what that's like. Because to go through the lifestyle of a millionaire, like someone who actually has access to all the amenities and everything he wants, to end up sleeping on the streets, like that is night and day difference. It's a lot easier for someone who lives in one of those houses with holes in the roof where water is coming in, to then move on the streets. Like it's a lot easier for the human body to adapt than it is for someone that's a millionaire and lives in luxury to all of a sudden have to sleep in the parks and on the benches. But apparently life gave him a turning point, and he came when a stranger on Craigslist allowed him to crash in his RV. It wasn't much, but it gave him the chance to regroup and strategize for his next move. He used this small window of opportunity to plan his comeback, and he wasted no time. Apparently, he started getting resourceful by flipping items from Craigslist, acting as the middleman for the profit. Every dollar went straight to survival. He stacked odd jobs on top, telemarketing, assistant work delivery, and brick by brick, he started making a comeback. Unfortunately, however, rock bottom hit hard when his bank overdrew and he found himself sleeping in a roach-infested RV. Most would throw in the towel, but it only motivated him further. A $1,500 marketing gig became his lifeline. He moved into a shared room, saving every penny. And apparently, he bought the vehicle back from the guy for $2,000 and asked to repay the favor. So now he had the safety net, and he zeroed in on creating a scalable e-commerce biz. Not just any biz, but one with heart. Launched a coffee brand for dog lovers that donate the proceeds to animal rescues. And apparently he started doing all of these jobs, and eventually his revenue started growing and growing. The story gets a little bit more dramatic as he finds out that his father is sick with cancer. And he wanted to throw away everything, but he realized that his dad wouldn't want him to give up his dream. So this motivated him even further. But anyway, right, he kept going and going. And eventually he didn't manage to get $1 million like he initially planned, but he made $65,000. Now, again, this is a motivational story. I will accept if anyone in the comment section were to say, I don't believe this, I think it's fake. Like, that would be reasonable, but that's not what we're going to say. And again, like, please do not contact any of these people. This video is not in order to start online debates with strangers of the internet. Because I think, like, what these people are saying is reflective to the modern culture. And as we're going to see, most people are looking at this and they're not finding it wholesome. They're not finding it inspirational. You have individuals saying, like, he actually failed woefully. And, you know, I guess, like, his starting goal was ambitious to, like, make $1 million as a homeless person. But to go from homeless to make $65,000, I think that's incredibly motivational. Man, I think, like, most people that are homeless, if you were to allow them to be in a position where they can make this much money, they would take it in a heartbeat. I mean, there's people who aren't homeless and they do not make this amount. You have other people saying, unlike 95% of the homeless people, he started this social experiment with plenty of education, knowledge, and most likely a well-planned strategy. From the looks of it, he also didn't really look that homeless, nor was he fighting any sort of mental illness or addiction. So, you know, like, from the perspective of the left, going to school makes you smart automatically. Like, they do not understand that there are people who go to school and squander the opportunity anyway, like, whether they're not interested in listening to the teacher, they skip school, they're aggressive, they're bullying. Like, there are many factors on why even if you take a person and send them to school, it's not going to make them smart. In fact, I don't even believe that they teach you in school how to start a business or how to come up with a good business idea. Like, these are not things that are necessarily taught. And you can make the argument, yeah, sure, you know, but like, he had access to certain knowledge that most people didn't. And the point of this social experiment is not to show that everyone can do it, but it is to show that some people can do it. And, you know, like, fine, there are people with mental illnesses and addictions, but, like, if you're not one of those people, what is your excuse? I mean, he started from rock bottom, but there are many people that aren't homeless. Like, they still have their own houses. And if you can have a guy that goes from $0 to $65,000 a month, like, surely you can do it as well if you put your mind to it. Like, this is the purpose of this post. This is what it's trying to actually accomplish. It's not to say that every single homeless person can end up in a situation where they have $65,000 in the bank. No, it's to say that maybe you can have $5,000 in the bank. Like, it is possible. In fact, I remember when I started my YouTube channel, I actually interviewed a homeless guy because I found it to be quite interesting. You know, like, one of the worst fears that I have is to remain homeless because I generally don't know what I would do in that situation. It can happen to anyone. Like, your house can catch fire and you can end up on the streets. So I got this guy, you know, he was homeless, and we did an interview. This was, I think, in like 2014. And he told me what it's like to live on the streets and how he dealt with other homeless people, how he managed to find food and all of that. And then how he managed to actually end up living in a place. Like, he got together with another homeless person. They pitched in money and they managed to get rent into a small apartment that both of them lived in. And then he found a job and he basically climbed back up. And I found out last year that now he's working for the government. Like, he climbed back up, learned new skills, and is now working for the government, earns a lot more than I do. So, yeah, like, there are people that can do it. There's also individuals that I know who played on the stock market and they were millionaires, and then they dropped all the way back to zero and they managed to bounce back. So the idea that some people can do it should be motivational. It doesn't mean that everyone can do it, obviously. No one is equal, so obviously they have certain skills that other people don't, but, like, maybe you also have some skills that they don't. Like, that is what people should get by this. It's not, oh, well, yeah, like, he doesn't have mental illnesses, so therefore. I mean, sure, you know, like, if you're born being a nugget, like, you don't have any arms or legs and you're born like that, I mean, you're at a major disadvantage that other people are. So it's understandable, you know, or if you're born incredibly ugly and deformed, like there is something called pretty privilege, and life isn't fair. Yeah, like not everyone can do it, but as long as you don't have any of these issues, like you still have your arms and legs attached, you still aren't, you know, like grotesque, like you haven't been a victim of a fire, like then the question should start from there. Like, why can't you also manage to improve yourself if this guy could? That's what motivational videos are for. And then you also have like other people saying that, oh, well, he did not start from zero. How did he manage to get access to a phone? And, you know, like, these people are so disconnected from reality because I see beggars on the streets having smartphones. Like, it's not the 1990s anymore where smartphones were incredibly expensive and only the most rich people could buy. Now smartphones are so affordable that, yeah, like even homeless people have them. I have no idea where they charge them. Like, I assume they go to a Starbucks or something. But like even homeless people, they do have smartphones. Yeah, it's not like it doesn't invalidate his experiment just because like, oh, he started with a backpack and a smartphone. Like, come on. Are you going to complain that he also had a mask? Like, let's be reasonable here. Chances are that you can actually get a smartphone for free if you have like one of those subscription accounts, right? Where, I don't know, you pay like $20 a month. In my country, I don't know how much is in other places. But yeah, like having a smartphone is definitely a necessity. Like it provides so much. I mean, in his situation, he actually managed to use Craigslist in order to flip items and manage to make money. So yeah. Let me know what you guys think though. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.